have spent most of my sharing years explaining the intricacies I see in the readings and tie them together in these blogs. Since I have been back, I am being cautioned not to do that on a daily basis. One size does not fit all any longer. We got to this amazing stage of the game by employing our commonalities. Meaning, what we shared together was applicable to some degree to the all. Now, we are looking at your super refined uniqueness, which is equally changing the way I process the incoming light information through each of you. Challenge me, will ya? Gotta love a good learning curve. Let's get back to the bit of information I shared yesterday, the 1111 light field. Through the years, I have always used Crayon's simple explanation about the 1111 key. Spiritual illumination is happening anytime you see that signpost. Even Crayon's name was purposely created to vibrate to an 11 in numerology. Hell, 1111, in the year 2000, has always been significant to me because that is the day I had the Ouija board experience and my life started to change and expand from that moment on. I suppose, there had to come a day, a time, when we are so full of spiritual illumination, it becomes a solid part of our lives. Well, as solid as light can be, haha. I also must take note, numerologically speaking, at distance I've seen everyone above the ground as we got back into readings together. 6 feet above the ground, 6 in my world is all about soul partnership. So that is reflecting the full-on partnership you have within yourself with yourself, the field of light, the master incarnate that you are. The mantle of spiritual illumination is now coming through you, as opposed to being brought to you, and because of that, the light lives solidly in this realm of expression. Within 11D, anything that happens on Earth, no matter what level or frequency of Earth, happens because of you. Because of the consciousness you hold within yourself. So this light field of the 1111 is happening because of you and your mastery. Imagine that. There is also a huge responsibility that comes with this exciting new phase. We must work it, use it, participate with it at the ground level of life. I think the easiest way to explain this is using the analogy of high-powered electrical lines. They are now all set and live around the Earth. But even that is simply a potential until someone plugs something in and uses it in their life. You are being demanded, not asked, mind you, to use this high-frequency light that is you out loud at the ground level of life, so others can experience your wisdom, your determination out loud. Just envisioning something is no longer enough. It's time to actively participate. I will share the info that came through my First Lady yesterday. Her body was so washed out from the intensity of light through her and around her that she was hard to see. However, coming out of her right hand was something that looked like Skittles. She is her own Skittles factory, haha. Vibrantly colored power pills that went up into the light and then made a U-turn back down into her mouth. I watched as these power Skittles changed into string energy as it went down her throat, which looked like a crazy hall of mirrors, refracting the energy into a more usable form at the ground level. I watched as these long strings of Skittle threads went down into her heart center, which now looked like that fancy gyroscope I included as art a few blogs ago. This gyroscope will be putting the threads of her power outwards through her left hand, within the created reality of higher illumination at the ground level. I could not see what that looked like yet because she hasn't done that yet. I have to add this as well, when our reading was done, she realized her kids put Skittles all over her bed. Spirit has a way of making it real. I find it incredibly interesting what is happening in her town. They are trying to move in a gas refinery, which, if built, will output emissions equal to over 3,000 cars on a daily basis or something toxic like that. Forgive me if I am remembering the number wrong, too low. Yes, hold the vision of town free of this event, but equally, allowing and petitioning for a more sustainable, for all life, replacement. She had said she would like to see solar panels instead. Why limit the potential to that? That was her team's words, not mine, There are many life-enhancing fuel options out there, many we are not aware of, but ready to install, that will do zero harm to the environment or the people. Spirit, and Mother Teresa, haha, has always said being against something causes friction to both parties. Being for something creates movement of energy. Use your string energy, thread new, higher life together, however you can. Contact those in the town, those that have life-sustaining equipment, come together at the ground level. The only reason oil or gas refineries keep winning is because they are well gathered at the ground level of experience. Remember, the field of creation has no bias at all. Hold the vision, but also, get your damn boots on the ground too. I want to contrast all this with my last reading of the day. She was supposed to be an ET reading, but I couldn't see an ET at all. When I finally gave up trying, I closed my eyes, literally, and said, "Help." One of her guides showed up on the deck. I was outside, of course, about 5 feet in front of me. He explained that she must work on filtering out the world around her and focus only on her personal light, her spirit, her full potential in this world. It is way too easy to get distracted by the outside world, hence him showing up only with my eyes closed. I loved the fact that he called himself Jordan and even told her he is there to help her cross the River Jordan. There was something familiar about that phrase, but I had no idea what it referenced. We decided to forego the ET connection and do a reading instead. So I went into my office and first Googled the phrase crossing the River Jordan and had to smile. The Jordan as a type shows that the promised land could not be entered without crossing the Jordan. For you are about to cross the Jordan to go in to possess the land that the Lord your God is giving you, and you shall possess it and live in it. Deuteronomy 11:31. When you cross the Jordan and live in the land that the Lord your God is giving you to inherit, and he gives you rest from all your enemies around you so that you live in security. Deuteronomy 12:10. The promised land. You in fullness in and with yourself. Not a place outside of yourself. The river is duality. Moving from the left side to the right side, which is exactly how his voice penetrated my field of hearing, coming in horizontally from left to right, he gives you rest from all your enemies. The only real enemies anyone has is our personal fears. Live in your Godland, there is only light. As we got the reading started, she was standing sideways in my sliding glass door, her right foot side on my office floor drenched in shadows, and her left foot outside in the luminosity of life. Her job is to stop looking at all her fears, which keeps that foot in duality, and start playing and using her light field. Light will always trump and release the shadows. Always. And not the other way around. Again, coming into free will, if you want to keep looking at what keeps you, perceptually, stuck, you will constantly be stuck there. Look at what makes you free. Guess what? Oh my God, I just got a flashback from my very beginnings that fits so well with all this. Before I met my guide or anything like that, I first met my power animal, a tiger, then he brought in a donkey and together we played in a jungle-like forest with a raging river running through it. We would play in the river every time we got together, for weeks, getting out of the river the same place we entered each time, until one surprising day, my tiger took me out of the river on the other side of the bank and brought me to my guide's cottage. I eventually did understand we were using that water play to release the intense depression I was in, release the weight of the world I carried and learn to play and be light and have fun in this inner environment. When I achieved it so strongly, I could hold it in my next phase. We crossed the River Jordan. Who knew? Play sets you and us free. Carrying the weight of duality brings you back for more dips in the river. Rehydrating and removing the density debris. I want to come back to the 1111 light field. This powers the city, every one of us. It is not anyone's personal light field, it's serving the all who lives, loves, shares the 11D light field. We, via the readings, are almost at ground level, which actually makes sense to me now since it is the 6th of November, and from previous readings and understandings, this light field sets up, to use an old phrase, anchoring into permanence. Well, as much permanence as we get to have, haha, starting on the 8th, which starts the upside down cone, or V. One side is the 8th, 9th, 10th, the open center is the 11th, the other side is the 12th, 13th, 14th. I find the moon phase of this time interesting as well. The 14th is the full moon. Completion, full illumination through the all in action. There is so much more I want to share, but my team is asking me to leave the ET information for tomorrow. Who am I to argue? Haha. Until tomorrow. Big hugs of city lights shining through all you do, say, and be. Lisa.